This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hey, Choose to Rise fans, Kim Meyer here. I wanted to extend an invite to you to join me in my Healthy Living Accountability Group, Together We Rise. It is there where we work on fitness, we work on nutrition, we work on positive mindsets, and supporting each other in the process of living a healthy, fulfilling life. In whatever season of life that you're in, everyone has the opportunity to live a healthier, more fulfilling life. So join me. Head me up at chooseriseup@gmail.com or check out chooseriseup.com to learn more about how you can be a part of this amazing group and feel fulfilled and healthy for life. To make a choice and don't make it, that in itself is a choice. Listen to that again. When you have to make a choice and don't make it, that in itself is a choice. Life is full of choices, right? Of course, the wisdom of hindsight makes things so much easier to look back on and say, oh, I wish I would have, I wish I could have, I wish I would have done that differently. But none of us have that crystal ball. And a little phrase I threw at my husband the other day was, the could have, should have, the worst thing you can do is should have on yourself. And that's so true, right? Like when we make choices, we need to own them. We need to decide that what we did, what we said, what we accomplished, what we didn't accomplish, that's on us. And that's a choice that we've made. And the only wrong decision that you can make is indecision, because that in itself is making a choice as well. You have to make a conscious choice. You have to choose what choice is going to be good for you, and you have to own it, right? That's what I love about these little, first of all, personal development in general is so good at growing your mind and being a part of what you're accomplishing and doing in life. But like life is full of choices. And I don't think I would be where I am today if it was not for the women in my life that I've linked arms with and that I work with every single day that have encouraged me to be a part of personal development, that always push me to be better and always help me have gut checks in my life about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how I can get better at life. And so I picked up these little books. This one is called Love Your Life. It's 100 Ways to Start Living Your Life You Deserve by Dominique Bertolucci. And she has a whole series of them. But I love these little books because they get me thinking. They get me going with my thoughts in mind, and they help like make those gut checks for myself. And they help me make better choices by learning and growing with what we have here. And so, that's where a lot of the content starts is with these little books and with personal development in general, and being a part of this community of women who are always leveling up with me and encouraging me and supporting me. That's really where the magic has started. And if you ever want to learn more about that group, if you ever want to learn more about how to work with me one-on-one, or be a part of this uplifting community that wants to link arms with you and support you and encourage you and help you grow and be better, go to my website, chooseriseup.com, click on the Build to Freedom in the top right section, and then join the team and fill out an application. Let's talk, let's get connected and talk about how you can be a part of that too. But today's we're talking about choices and owning those choices. And one of those choices that I've made is to live more free, to be a part of personal development, have that be a piecing part of me. And, choices in life happen, we make thousands of them, right? Like they're from what we are going to wear to what we're going to do to how we're going to respond to things, how, we have to own those choices and who we are. And we have to stop letting other people control us, and we have to start thinking for ourselves. That's one mistake that we often make, is that we often allow the circumstances around us, or we allow the people around us, the social norms around us, to have control over what we're thinking, to control over what we do, to control over what we say. And there's one quote that I found when I was kind of digging into more of this kind of stuff is that we have to stop letting others control us. We have to take back our minds. We have to think about who we are and who God's created us to be, and then really think about how we need to respond in life. And when we let other people control us, when we let other people to guide our direction in the sense of how we're going to show up in the world, then that kind of robs us of our opportunity to live the life that God intended us to live. And you have to own who you are in your own mindset and not worry about what other people are doing or thinking. I had a lady reach out to me the other day. She's part of my accountability group, and she's like, I'd really like to have some more one-on-one support, because I really just don't feel comfortable with some of the people that are in the accountability group. And I was like, what? Like, this is a positive, uplifting place. Like, she's had some experience with one person that's been a part of it's also a part of the group working on improving themselves. And so she just didn't feel comfortable with that. And I was like, absolutely, I 1000% can support you one-on-one. I do that with a lot of people. But I really want to help her work through like why she's letting someone else control her thoughts and making her feel small. We don't need to feel small for anyone. In fact, I would highly encourage that you don't feel small for anyone, because you get to live the life. You should be living the life that you get to be a part of by your own thoughts and deeds, and not worrying about what other people think. Letting other people control you with their thoughts, their words, their mind, and letting that stop you from living your best life, I think is denying the world of your greatness. And so how can we do this? How can we let go of what other people think? How can we own our own choices? Well, there's always going to be places in our life where we feel broken, where we feel like we're not the steering wheel of life, where life sometimes is going the opposite direction of where we want to go. But we have to really dig deep into those opportunities, into those times, and start fresh. And we need to kind of let those feelings kind of go from us, and we need to really take power over our circumstances. The truth is that no matter what happens to you, you still have the power to choose, and that ability cannot be taken away from you. And so regardless if someone is showing up in an accountability group, or someone is coming to a meeting that you're at, or someone is showing up in your life and making different choices than you, you still have the power to recognize that you don't want to do that. You still have the power to choose how you respond to that person. Is it in love? Is it in responsibility of your own? Is it choosing to just not engage with that person? You always have the ability to choose how you respond and how you come across of things in life. When I just made a post on my own social media today about how I wasn't fulfilling my own advice, I guess. How we have this phrase that we say a lot in our house. It's how you do one thing is how you do all things. And yesterday at basketball practice, my son was not giving it his best, in my opinion. I think his dad kind of got after him too, like struggles of your parents being your coaches. But I watched him, like he even sat down at one point, and I was like, what are you doing? Get up. Like we don't do these kinds of things, right? How you do one thing is how you do all things. And so him owning that choice and starting to really get over that and start, picking up his pace and doing the things at his absolute best, and not just, mediocre. Then this morning, in my workout, I was finishing early. I was not fulfilling the minute time block. I was, kind of slacking in that sentence. And that phrase flopped in my head. And it was like, how you do one thing is how you do all things. And I had to own my choices. I had to own the fact that I wasn't fulfilling my full potential, that I wasn't doing my absolute best. And I had to kick myself in the butt and keep going. And I hope that, that I can role model that for him, and that I'm kicking my own self in the butt and living the life that I want him to live as well. And so I have to own my choices. I had to do that myself. As some of the things that we need to kind of 3 steps in making positive choices, where you can kind of watch out for these kinds of things, is that 1, denial, ignoring something that just doesn't make it go away. And you're being a natural procrastinator as I am. I can try to ignore things and try to get them to leave my life, but that's not always going to happen. It's definitely not always going to happen when it's especially something important. It's a lesson you should be learning, but like really getting out of that denial and really focusing on, having an unresponse is a response. The truth is that not choosing in itself is a choice, and you have to make a choice. You have to decide, am I going in this direction, or am I going to go in this direction? And just own either one of them. And knowing that not making a choice is owning the fact that you're staying away from it, that you're maybe fearful of it. And that's the second one, is like not allowing fear to be a part of your struggle, right? Like we all have silent fears. We all have silent struggles, and those things we don't like to talk about or even think about. But being courageous does not mean being unafraid. In fact, it means being courageous is acting in spite of the fear. It's allowing the fear to walk along with you, be in the in the car with you, but not being in the driver's seat of your life. It's refusing to allow fear to paralyze you and strip you of your God-given ability to have a thriving and intentional life. Not allowing fear to be, you need to have fear in your life, but not allowing fear to be the thing that drives you. And the third thing is like setbacks. Setbacks are going to happen. Taking personal responsibility requires you to develop a strong mind that does not see failure as the end journey. We say this a lot in our house, that failure, when I fail is when I learn. And when I struggle, I just keep trying, because when I fail is when I learn. And we just talk about that over and over again, and reframing what failure is. Failure is only failure, is the stopping point when you give up. And we don't give up in this house. We don't stop doing things. We keep going and push through, because that's the struggle is where the strength is. And I really hope and pray that the opportunities that I'm giving my kids, the role modeling that I'm giving my kids, is that, to be a winner is someone who just doesn't quit. And even if they struggle or they fail at something, for the lack of a better word here, they can get back up and make it better. They can get back up and own the responsibility and take responsibility for their own life and take charge of their own life and really live out the life that they're intended to. God does not give us a perfect life. He will never make things super easy for us. In fact, I have a quote on my wall up here that says, God didn't promise days without pain, laughter without sorrow, sun without rain, but he did promise strength for the day of comfort, for the tears, and the light for the way. And when you can really own that and really understand that the choices that we're going to make in life are going to require some grit. They're going to require some faith. They're going to require you taking responsibility for those choices in order to get better at life. Then that's where the real magic comes in. So hopefully today you own your choices, that you fulfill that the life that you deserved, and that you are able to, make better choices going forward based on the information that you have today. I hope that something today landed on you, that this was a gift to you. And if you like this episode, if you appreciate this episode, I would appreciate it if you would share it with other people. There's a little share button at the bottom of this where you can hit share off to the side, and that you just tell more people about Choose to Rise, because leaving a rating or review on wherever you get your Apple or wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcast or wherever it might be, Spreaker, I hope that you leave a rating and review and let other people know about it, as well as just sharing on your social media. It warms my heart. It helps other people know about it, and it helps. Every day I pray in my affirmations book. Every day I pray in here about more people finding Choose to Rise, and that God would speak through me to find more people and help more people be connected to him. And I hope and pray that that's happened for you, and that you can help other people find and help there as well. If you want to find out more about me, head over to chooseriseUp.com. You can learn all about me. You can help support the show you can support in multiple ways. One, by sharing and just letting other people know about it. Two, there's a donation button there, and that helps keep the show running. We're in a small network, and any monetary donation, if you appreciate the show, or you appreciate Public House Media, or you appreciate what happens here, any little bit, you can donate there, and the money will definitely go to supporting the show and making sure that we can keep publishing this out into the world. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back here on Monday when we're going to be talking about... I don't have it written down, but I will be back here with you Monday for sure. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.